Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's Source Volunteer Appreciation and Awards celebration. This is one of our events during our annual celebration of National Volunteer Week, and we are glad to have so many of you here with us today. So we do want to start off with some acknowledgments. We do want to acknowledge the Piscataway tribe, the indigenous people who are the traditional owners of the lands of the Chesapeake Bay region, which is where we are joining you from today in Baltimore, Maryland. We also want to acknowledge the impact of racism, systemic oppression, including the practice of redlining, colonization, genocide, and state-sanctioned violence in the lives of Black and Brown folks in Baltimore and across the United States. We also want to acknowledge all of you for being here today and making a commitment to our shared communities, and we want to celebrate each and every one of you for the work that you've been doing. So we are Source. I think if you're here in our session, you already know that we are the Community Engagement and Service Learning Center, serving the Johns Hopkins University Schools of Public Health, Nursing, and Medicine, and we partner with about 100 nonprofits here in Baltimore City. I want to take a few moments to acknowledge, welcome, and celebrate our Source team. I'll introduce myself and then also have my colleagues introduce themselves to all of you, just in case you don't know the whole team. I'm Mindy Levin. I'm the founder and director of Source, and I do a lot of work around faculty development and supporting student programs. Tyler, you want to say a quick hello?
Hey all, I'm Tyler Dareth. I'm the associate director at Source. I'm more on the academic side, do the service learning work with faculty, help manage our service learning academy, and do some of the research around here. I'll pass it to Tony.
Great.
Thanks for passing it along. I'm Tony Bridges, one of the assistant directors here with Source. I'm sure you all will hear a lot more from me a little bit later, but I work with a lot of, or all of the student groups from each of the 3 different schools, as well as a couple of programs such as HIV testing and counseling, and the identity clinic, which unfortunately during the pandemic, we weren't able to do much with this year, but our fingers are crossed and things are getting better. So hopefully we'll be able to open it up once again, hopefully in the fall. So we'll see. But with that, I will turn it over to Kiala.
Hi folks, I'm Kiala Jacques. I'm the other assistant director and the only member of our team that has the privilege of working on both the faculty development side and the student development side. And I also help bring a social justice orientation to all of our programmatic and curricular work. I'll now pass it to Vanessa.
Good afternoon, everyone. Vanessa Pinckney, Sources Administrative Coordinator. I provide administrative and general support to the entire team, and I manage a number of areas for Source, specifically our budget and managing the Source account, email account. So I'm glad to be here to celebrate with you all. Oh, I'll pass it over to Ezad.
Yes, thank you, Vanessa. And thanks everybody for being here. I'm Izat Shahade. I'm the communications specialist with Source. So primarily work with a lot of our outgoing communications. So those emails that you get and our weekly newsletter, social media content, website content, and really just trying to spread the word as much as possible when our community partners are announcing volunteer requests and some other requests, and also when we're recruiting for our service learning programs as well, trying to get the word out about some awesome opportunities. So very glad to be here today, and I hope some of my emails have reached you and you've answered the call, and just want to celebrate all of you today. Thank you all for all of your commitment to Baltimore.
Great. Glenn Ross is our Source community consultant. Glenn, did you want to say a hello? Glenn, you're on mute still.
Can you hear me now?
We got you.
Okay, once again, a good afternoon to everyone. Name's Glenn Ross. I'm a longtime community advocate here in Baltimore City of 40 plus years. I do the East Baltimore historical tours. I do the tours for Source, and also the founder of the Urban Environmental Toxic Tour.
Thanks, Glenn. I do want to highlight and recognize and celebrate the work of the rest of our part-time source team members. These are our student program assistants. So we want to say a huge thank you and job well done to Chelsea, Madison, Haley, Leah, Danielle, Nathan, Sharara, and Lydia, who round out our program assistants for the academic year. Thanks to all of you. So we also have SOURCE have a governing board that has representatives, whether that's deans, faculty, and students from each of our 3 health professional schools. So we just want to share with you that you'll know that the deans and our faculty from the schools of public health is Dr. Sharps Dean and Mike Ward. From nursing, we have Jennifer Dotzenrod and Phyllis Sharps, as well as this outstanding list of students that you're seeing on our screen as well. From the School of Medicine, we have Dr. Barry Solomon and Roy Ziegelstein, as well as we have student representatives from each of the academic years or the cohorts that come in with the MD program. So we want to thank all of you for your great work as well. We have a few other folks on our governing board, including Eli from the Center for Social Concern. It's a program at the Homewood campus for undergrad students. And then Michael, who is with Government and Community Affairs for East Baltimore. So they're also a part of our fantastic team. We also have a SOURCE Community Council. So as I mentioned, we partner with over 100 nonprofit organizations in Baltimore City. And we also have a collective of representatives that serve with us on 3-year terms to support us, which is our SOURCE Community Council. And we wanted to say a huge thank you to Melody from GEDCO, Thomas from Strong City, Baltimore, Quandra, who's with Civic Works, Angela from the Franciscan Center, Lindsay from the Family Tree, Angie from Movable Feast, Sarah from House of Ruth, Maryland, Veronica, who I see on the call from Roberta's House, Brandy from Art with the Heart, Sam from Operation Pulse, Glenn, who you just met, who is a longtime community activist and leader, Jordan from Project Place, and Majid from Good Harvest. We want to thank you all for supporting the work that we do and helping us to continue to support Baltimore and moving forward in meaningful ways. Thank you all so much. Next slide, Tony. Did we freeze Tony on our slides there? Maybe Tony's frozen. He looks very still. All right, well, hopefully Tony will come back in a second. I will continue talking while we wait for Tony to come back. Probably is having some technical difficulties here. So bear with me while I take a peek here. All right, we'll wait for Tony to get back in. I'm going to go to my backup slides so we can keep moving forward. I'm almost there, folks. Thanks for bearing with me. I will share my slides in just one more moment. Okay, go to my share screen. Okay, Vanessa, I can see your face. Do you see my screen? Great, thank you so much. Okay, so sorry for that technical difficulty. Hopefully Tony makes his way back in with whatever was happening on his end. But I do want to again say thank you to our entire SOURCE family. That includes all of our students, faculty, staff, and community partners. In 2020, again, this is the 2020-2021 academic year. That's a mouthful. We did celebrate our 15 years of proudly serving Baltimore and our Johns Hopkins schools. We didn't get to have a large in-person celebration that we had planned to do, so we celebrated in small ways, and we are now in the midst of our Sweet 16 year and have many more things to look forward to in the coming years, so thank you for being a part of that. I couldn't obviously not take this moment Every year, I don't think we surprise Vanessa anymore that during National Volunteer Week, it also happens to be Administrative Professionals Day. And therefore, we want to celebrate all the great work that Vanessa does to support our entire team and our partners and our students, faculty, and staff. Thank you, Vanessa, for being you and always being amazing. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. I have a text from Tony. He's trying to get back in, but I'll take over and doing some of his parts. So we are going to celebrate a few of the accomplishments that we had this year. Again, we had to do a lot of pivoting this year, as we all have done in this virtual world with COVID-19. And we didn't get to do some of the things that we typically do, but we did have a few other things that we wanted to celebrate, which is obviously being really glad that we were able to find ways to continue to connect our students, faculty, and staff and community partners in virtual ways. And so we really found some extraordinary wins with that. And we also brought in a new program, or a new service, I should say, called Hopkins Engage. And Hopkins Engage is an online platform to connect our Hopkins folks with community opportunities. One of the things that we did this year as well is that SOURCE was part of a university-wide COVID-19 anchor strategy task force. And with this task force, there were a few things that we were able to accomplish, including getting food access to local community groups. And that's a project that is still ongoing. Michael Preston, who I mentioned, he's on the call and is also one of our governing board members, was also another member of that team. We held a slew of virtual events for youth and families this year, particularly in Baltimore, to help educate them about COVID-19, as well as just some general fun and like virtual dance parties. We had a great deal of communication efforts with Baltimore groups to keep people informed. And then we also worked with some colleagues across the university to do some fundraising to utilize the Hopkins United Way Giving campaign. And we made a small COVID-19 grant funding opportunity, which we were able to distribute to local organizations as well. One of the things that we did this year is that instead of having our large in-person community involvement fair, which we usually do every September, we weren't able to gather together safely. We hosted a number of partner panels. And with those partner panels, it was an opportunity for us to bring in a few of our nonprofit organizations to have discussions about the work that they do. We also continued with our fantastic Practicing Justice series. Kiala and Lydia were really the driving force behind the work of our Practicing Justice series. Hey, Tony, he's getting his way back in. But anyway, with the Practicing Justice series, we have Social Justice, What's Your Function? We have an ongoing partnership with the School of Nursing. So we want to thank Megan Barrett and team over there for some of the great events that we've had. We hosted Medical Apartheid, both in the fall and then in the spring. We had a two-part series, as well as a two-part series on codifying safety. We are still in the midst of our events around supporting our immigrant and refugee neighbors. We had a screening on Monday night, and then this Friday at 3 o'clock, we have a panel discussion. And then a few other events that we hosted were Space to Breathe, as well as Collaboration for Change. And these were activities that we were hosting in response to student identified needs and demands for a place for us to come together and collaborate. We also are a part of a very large initiative, and I know that some of our HEAT Core instructors are on the call today. We want to thank all of you. This is a university-wide initiative with colleagues from medicine, nursing, public health, the School of Education, etc. And what we did is we developed a COVID-19 school curriculum for K through 12 youth. And we have trained over 150 volunteers from across the health professional schools, some undergrads, as well as some residents that are now teaching a series of 8 modules in virtual classrooms and K through 12 classrooms across the country. So we focus on biology of the virus, math models, the physics of face mask, the chemistry of hand hygiene. We're talking about vaccines and much more. And a huge shout out for everybody that's been a part of the Johns Hopkins HEAT Core. We also continued, we are in the 9th year of our SOURCE Service Learning Fellows program. Each year we select from a competitive list of applications, faculty and community members to be trained together in service learning pedagogy. And this in turn basically gives us an opportunity to have more for-credit community engagement opportunities in the classroom for our students. And so this is a picture from our seminar that we held last summer to basically kick everything off and get us going. So we want to highlight and recognize the work of both our faculty and our community fellows. We have a few different student scholar programs as well. We have our source service scholars, which are folks from across medicine, nursing, and public health that are selected to serve for an entire academic year. They're doing sustained student engagement and leadership opportunities with community organizations. If you want to learn more about our source service scholars, you still have time. We have our source service scholars poster session tonight at 5:30. We'd love for you to join us. And then we also have the Baltimore Action Projects, and we have a small group of public health and nursing students that were selected to be the Baltimore Action Project students this year. And they are working with a number of different local nonprofits, focusing on the 5 critical public health issues that have been identified by the Bloomberg American Health Initiative. The initiative is tackling these issues across the country. We're doing a hyper-local focus here in Baltimore. So we want to applaud and celebrate the work of our Baltimore Action Project students and our source service scholars. Now, let me, I'm going to look in the chat because I can't really see it while I'm talking here. Oh, very nice comments of thanks and appreciation, which I love. Do we have Tony back in with us, or he's still disconnected? Source team members, help me out here.
I think he's disconnected, actually.
Okay, thanks, Azar. All right, well, I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to ask my team members. Tony and I had like some corny little banter that we were going to do for all of you. I'm going to ask our source team members when we go through the awards and recognize folks to please join us in applause. If you want to do your applause with the little feature below in the Zoom, that's great as well. If you are someone that ends up being selected for an award and you are the winner of the award, we will give you an opportunity if you would like to say a few words to unmute yourself. Not very long, but just to say a quick hello. So I do want to put that out there for all of you. So let's get moving with the awards. So we're going to start with the student awards. And first, we're going to start with the individual student awards. So we're going to first talk about the School of Public Health. And so this person is being recognized for their commitment to service while completing school, as well as volunteering as an acting executive director for an organization that works with a network of community-based organizations, churches, and neighborhood associations that work with Hopkins faculty and staff to coordinate medical and social care in East Baltimore. They also apply for grants and awards for both their organization and individual community-based organizations that ultimately totaled over $300,000. And for that, this year's School of Public Health Individual Student Award is given to Lindsay Hebert. Lindsay, congratulations.
Thank you so much. This is a huge surprise. And also just really, it's very easy to work with outstanding community organizations who really deserve all of the appreciation and attention and funding. So I feel very honored to have had this opportunity. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Lindsay. We celebrate you. Then from the School of Nursing, we are going to move on to the next Individual Student Award. This person has gone above and beyond to make sure that the Thread students that they work with are safe and secure throughout the most uncertain moments. The person has had an incredible ability to immediately build trust with young people, parents, and guardians, even in challenging cases where experienced staff and volunteers had struggled to initiate or maintain connection as well. Throughout this difficult time, they remained positive, confident, and very intentional, and they had a contagious impact on everyone that works with him at Thread. For that, our School of Nursing Individual Student Award goes to Kingsley Badu. Kingsley, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'd like to thank the Source organization for this award. I'm very grateful, and I also like to thank Thread for the nomination. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Huge congrats to you, Kingsley. Thanks for all that you do. From the School of Medicine, we'll move on to another Individual Student Award. This person was able to step up as a coach, mentoring youth, and continuing with mentorship. She would juggle the responsibilities of running meetings, coaching students, and perfectly demonstrated flexibility and adaptability. The nominator said, "I strongly believe that she deserves this award due to the positive change she's created in the lives of many refugee youth in Baltimore in the short span of a few months, as well as to recognize her incredible resourcefulness, tenacity, adaptability, and responsibility." And for that, we want to acknowledge Leka Yasantharo. Congratulations, Leka.
Thank you so much. This makes me really happy. And I just want to thank Source for giving me such a wonderful platform through which to work. I'm really happy that I had this opportunity. Thank you.
Awesome, congratulations. I shall move on to the Student Group Awards. So for the Student Group Awards, we have categories for public health, nursing, and medicine. So from the School of Public Health, after finding a newfound urgency to mobilize anti-racist teaching in academia following the murder of George Floyd, this group went to work training 7 students, 2 postdoctoral trainees, 2 faculty, and a staff member on how to implement microaggressions workshops. Each underwent 8 hours of synchronous training via Zoom and read research articles on applying the lens of racial justice to microaggressions. So their work was really focused on social justice and driving some change internally. And for that, we celebrate and recognize the work of Epi Ideas. Congratulations to the Epi Ideas team. Any representatives from Epi Ideas on the call?
Yeah, thank you, Mindy. My name is Manit. My pronouns are she, her. On behalf of Epi Ideas, as well as Kiala, who was really, really important and fundamental in this, on behalf of myself, Brooke, and the rest of Epi Ideas, and everyone who participated, trained to be facilitators, thank you so much. You know, we can only hope that this work carries on and improves the environment in the school for really everyone. Thank you.
Fantastic work to your whole collective. Thank you for all that you do. Okay, for the School of Nursing, we also want to give a student group award. And this group, which has been historically a small student group, has always managed to work with their community-based organizations to ensure that the School of Nursing is contributing significant, meaningful work within their sphere of influence. Thanks to this group's efforts, the curriculum at nursing has been updated, and future nursing students, and therefore patients, will benefit from enhanced training around holistic, evidence-based treatment and advocacy for marginalized populations. For this, we are recognizing and celebrating the School of Nursing student group, Nursing Students for Harm Reduction. Congratulations. We have any representatives from Nursing Students for Harm Reduction on the call?
Yep, I'm here. This is Meredith. Thank you so much. It's been great to work with Source over the last number of years on this. Thank you.
Thanks, Meredith. We know that you've been a fierce student leader, so we applaud the work that you've done to continue to focus on harm reduction education. Okay, so our next category is for the School of Medicine Student Group Award. And due to the pandemic, all the classes of this student group moved to Zoom. They had to adapt their curriculum to fit this new format. They've also had to be very cognizant of updating their curriculum to be more inclusive of different sexual identities, and they put more emphasis on the concept of consent. Training happened the week before each class was conducted, and the teachers offered suggestions that the organization may not have been considering previously, and they were encouraged to put their own spin on their material. So they have really stepped up to continue to offer education in local schools virtually, which is a big change. And therefore, we recognize and celebrate the work of CASE, the Community Adolescent Sexual Education Group. Congratulations. This is a part of SNMA as well. Do we have any CASE representatives on the call? All right, well, we will accept this award on their behalf. Maybe they are busy teaching some classes as we speak, which would not surprise me. Okay, so moving on to some of our other categories, I do want to move on and discuss our Community Mentor Award. So each year we do recognize and celebrate an individual community mentor. So these are always a person that is a part of one of our source partnering community-based organizations that has worked closely with either our faculty, staff, or students. And our individual faculty, staff, and students, they are the ones that submit nominations for our Community Mentor Awards to appreciate the work that they do to do partnership. So this nominator said that as my preceptor, they showed up consistently with thoughtfulness, enthusiasm, and humility. This person was intentional about getting to know me as a person, encouraging my personal growth, and inviting me into the community. In the past year, she was collaboratively led her staff to be innovative and care-focused with a trauma-informed lens during the pandemic. In a world rife with grief, the services of the organization offers are more important than ever. And for that reason, our team was very thrilled to recognize and appreciate Veronica Land Davis, Executive Director of Roberta's House. Congratulations, Veronica.
Thank you. I just feel so humbled. And I just want to say, this is a give and take. I've learned so much from the scholars. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
And thank you. Like you said, it's a give and take. The reciprocity is really important. And we're so lucky to have you and so many other community leaders that work with us and inform us. So thank you for all that you do. Okay, so the next award that we have is a category on faculty excellence in service learning. And this is an opportunity for our students to also recognize and appreciate the faculty members that teach utilizing service learning pedagogy. These courses give our students an opportunity to have real-world, hands-on learning opportunities that are partnering with community-based organizations. We do a great deal of reflection, and we talk about some important issues. So this year's Faculty Excellence in Service Learning Award, their nominators actually said a few words. Just one of the best experiences I've had. I think it's something that every student should do. I really learned a lot about myself as well as the surrounding community. It was eye-opening working with community volunteers and seeing the world through another lens. Another one of the nominators said, it has been a highlight of my master's program so far. And then lastly, submitting our deliverable after putting in weeks of work into it felt like a true accomplishment. We are so glad to recognize and appreciate Dr. Megan Latshaw from the School of Public Health for her service learning course, Principles of Environmental Health 2. Congratulations, Megan.
Thank you. Wow. This has come so far, as you know, Mindy. We really struggled in the first go round for this course, and wow, I'm so glad we've come this far. And honestly, it's because of the community-based organizations and because of the students. They really put their whole heart into this, and they have so much going on, and they really are dedicated to working in the community. So I'm really glad I got to work with everybody, and especially you for teaching me how to teach this way.
It's awesome. And yes, I'd love to see how far the course has come. And congratulations to you on your work and your continued dedication to service learning and lifting up this work with your colleagues as well.
And thanks to Tyler and Kiala and everybody else too.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, and our last category is an Alumni Service Award. And this is an opportunity for us to grant an award to one of our alums that continues to honor service and the work that they do. It doesn't have to necessarily be in Baltimore. So we had a great number of nominations, and we have a selection committee from across the health professional schools that help us select the winners. And this award winner had some health challenges early in the year, but yet they persisted and they continued to help the local Native community. The nominator greatly admired her tenacity and her commitment to Indigenous health despite extremely difficult circumstances. And outside having two different day jobs during a really tumultuous time, she has co-organized a number of mutual aid projects that serve tribes across North America. So we are really thrilled to recognize Kiana Kalakini for her great work as an alumnus of our institution. Congratulations.
Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh, this came as such a surprise to me as well, especially because I actually live in the Southwest now, back near the Navajo Reservation after I graduated. So I actually work as an epidemiologist and an environmental scientist, but with the pandemic and especially how it affected my community and our other Native communities around us, it really was up not just to just me, but to the rest of us to exercise our culture's intrinsic value of community service. So a number of us co-founded so many mutual aid projects and nonprofits this last year. And so, I mean, it is a surprise to me that, this would just be awarded to me because, this is just a community value. Like one of our nonprofits that I co-founded is called Collective Medicine because collectively we are good medicine. Thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your work, and we're honored to celebrate you today. So a few other things that we want to point out and encourage people to do, particularly if you are one of our Hopkins students, faculty, or staff, tomorrow as a part of National Volunteer Week is our really big push to get everybody to report your service. We do have a source online reporting form, which you can log in using your JED ID. Unfortunately, due to some IT issues with new JED authentication, there are some people that are having some challenges, and our IT folks have been working on it. So if you try to enter your information and you can't get in, right away we'll ask you to do a help ticket. They've been pretty quick on that. It's just a new technical difficulty that we have been dealing with our IT colleagues. We do have a backup option if you can't get in that way, so just send us an email at source@jhu.edu. We want to make sure that we are tracking all the great work that you're doing. We put together various reports that we utilize for the university, our schools, with our community partners, and this is also something that we have utilized for funding, growth, and development to be able to show the impact of our work. So we really encourage you to report your service. And then everybody else that is on the call, this was an invitation-only event. That means that you have been recognized, you have been doing this work, you have been making a commitment to serve community, honor community, support one another, comfort one another, show great caring. And for that, we want to say congratulations to each and every one of you. We want to thank you so much for being a part of our team, of our work. And we just want to celebrate all of you and say a huge, huge thank you from the entire SOURCE team. So we want to congratulate everybody for the work that you have done. Any other colleagues wanted to say a quick hello and special shout out? I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Yes, can you all hear me at all?
We can hear you.
I unfortunately still don't have internet access. So I'm on my phone and trying to follow along, and it's not working well. However, I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, a thank you to everyone, for all the work that you're doing in Baltimore's communities, and especially to SOURCE and the team for always stepping up, especially stepping up today for me when my internet went down and I couldn't get on to help out with the rest of the presentation. But SOURCE is great. The team members are great. Mindy, thanks for all that you do as well for SOURCE and for the community, and especially the community members and students, staff, and faculty that are on here. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of SOURCE as well, just thank you for all that you do. As a unapologetic Baltimorean, I love the work that's happening in our communities, and you all make it happen. So thank you.
Thanks, Tony. We made it work. It wasn't as fun without you, but we made it work. I'm going to put another person on the spot right now because I feel like I want to, now that I can see your faces and see who's here, because I can never see it while I'm on, you know how that is, y'all, on Zoom. Dr. Phyllis Sharps, I want to say a special thank you to you. For those that don't know, Phyllis is over at the School of Nursing, and she's been the Associate Dean for Community Programs. And I don't think I'm surprising anybody with the news that she is gearing up for retirement. Phyllis has been a long-time partner. She's been on our SOURCE governing board. When she was a department chair, when there were departments at the School of Nursing, we worked closely together. We do a lot of collaboration through the Center for Community Innovation and Scholarship. Phyllis, we want to thank you and honor you. Anything that you wanted to add?
No, Hopkins has been a fabulous place to work. I've loved all of my 19.79 years here. And I especially have loved the work with Mindy and the SOURCE team and what we've been able to help with and work with in our communities. We have fabulous community partners. Baltimore City is a fabulous place, and just helping our students also see the beauty and the greatness of our city. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm seeing that we have lots of our volunteers, and I see some community partners. We see Libby from Shepherd's Clinic. I see Randy from Art with the Heart. This is when I get in trouble if I don't name everybody, right? But I'm going through and seeing the faces. I see Thomas with Strong City Baltimore, as well as a few other faculty members. And we just want to say a huge thank you. We care about each and every one of you and the work that you're doing to honor community. A big collective virtual hug and celebration. If we were together, we would be eating some delicious food. So I hope that you find other ways to celebrate other than some of our just like, thank you, congratulations, cheers. I wish I could reach out and embrace everybody, but congratulations again to every single one of you. You are all winners in our book. And of course, because you've been working with Source and our incredible community partners here in Baltimore. We hope that you'll join us for other Source National Volunteer Week events. You still have time. I'll ask my colleague Ezat to drop in the chat the URL for Source National Volunteer Week, because tonight, again, we're honoring our Source Service Scholars from 5:30 to 6:30 with their poster session. Tomorrow is all about reporting. And on Friday, we're going to have a fantastic conversation about supporting our immigrant and refugee neighbors. We have a panel discussion on Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. that is featuring CASA, Erica, and the Esperanza Center. So thanks again, everyone. Enjoy your days and get ready for us to be sharing all the announcements of the winners through social media. So you're going to get your information shared widely. Congrats, everyone.